So today I read Mark 5:24 to 43 in devotions, and this video is just going to be pretty quick. I just have one quick thought to share that I had never really noticed about this passage. So this is the passage where this woman has this blood problem. She's spent all her money on doctors. Nothing seems to work. And she sees Jesus and she says to herself, "Oh, if I even touch his garment, I will be healed." And so she goes and does that. And he notices, he feels it, and he asks his disciples. And he's like, "Who touched me?" And they're like, "Everyone's crowded around you, and you ask, 'Who touched you?'" And he's like, "No, who touched me?" And he figures out it's her. The fact that she touched his garment is not what saved her. The key to understanding this passage is when the disciples respond and say, "Everyone is crowding around you." Meaning, why do you ask, "Who touched you?" Everyone's touching you. Everyone around Jesus was touching his garments, if for nothing more than out of curiosity. But she touched his garment out of faith that she would be healed if she did that. Do we think for a second that out of all the people touching Jesus, that none of them had their own physical problems that needed healing? Or maybe they knew someone that needed healing. Like Jesus could easily heal for miles. We see that in multiple places in the Gospels. No, these other people around Jesus also had problems that they needed solving. But they never said to themselves, "If I touch his garment, I will be healed. If I have faith, I will be healed." No, they just touched his garment out of human curiosity. So this shows us that the action of touching his garment did not save her, but her faith saved her. He literally says, "Daughter, your faith has saved/healed you." What's interesting in this passage as we move along, Jesus goes and heals the synagogue leader's daughter. And in that passage, he also tells the synagogue leader, "Don't fear, only have faith." So here we have two daughters, quote unquote, that were healed, that were saved through faith. Jesus was doing it all. No one could take the credit. These were miracles. But the key in especially with this woman with the blood problem was her faith. I think too often we as Christians in North America, we think that praying a prayer is what saves you. No, the faith you have as you pray that prayer is what saves you. Faith is the instrument that brings you into God's grace. It's not an action or a work that saves you. We would be lying to ourselves if we thought that everyone that had ever prayed the Lord's Prayer had faith as they did so. The prayer is a great way of showing that faith and outwardly committing to Jesus, but the prayer doesn't save you. Faith saves you. Technically, Jesus saves you by grace through faith, but yeah. We who have been saved would also be lying to ourselves if we thought that faith wasn't the key to living the Christian life in the day-to-day. Every day you need to have faith that God's promises are true so that you can actually walk in those promises and live like those promises will one day happen. Hebrews teaches that literally everywhere. Anyway, that's it. Just a reminder that pretty cool stuff happens when you seek God and pray and read the Bible every day. It's a pretty neat thing.